Today, I'll be doing an in-depth analysis on how to tightrope. The tightrope is one of the most difficult kendama tricks out there. Anyone can learn it, but it's going to be much easier if you've already learned airplane and borders balance. I recommend watching this whole video once while taking notes, and then watch it again as you practice. This video will be separated into 4 sections, which will be time-stamped at the bottom of the video. So what is a tightrope? The tightrope is relatively easy to understand, but that doesn't make it any less difficult. In tama grip, you pull up the ken, grab the string as the ken is in the air, balance the ken on the string, and then spike the ken into the tama. As you can probably guess, a ken with a dollar spike is going to be easier to balance on the string. So first step is ken pull up. The way you pull up the ken is the most important part in landing this trick, because without a perfect pull up, your chances of landing it on the string are very low. Your goal is to pull up the ken so at its apex, it's perfectly straight, both horizontally and vertically. Let's dive into that. There are 3 variables you need to think about: the apex, the horizontal path, and the vertical path. The apex is the exact moment when the ken changes from ascending to descending. By horizontal path, I mean the angle of the ken from the tip of the spike to the bottom of the base cup. And by vertical path, I mean the angle of the ken from big cup to small cup. Again, your goal is to pull up the ken so at its apex, it's perfectly straight, horizontally, and vertically. There are 2 actions you do to make this perfect. The first is how you release the ken, which affects the horizontal and vertical path. The second is how you pull up the ken with the string, which affects the apex. These 2 actions are tied together. A bad release is difficult to correct with a good pull-up, and you can ruin a good release with a bad pull-up. Make sure to use your knees to help control the ken's path. Second is landing the ken on the string. We'll start this by grabbing the string. The distance is up to you, but generally the closer the better. It's easier to keep a 5-inch string straight than a 10-inch string straight. And you should pull the string very tight, like 8 out of 10. Make sure the string is parallel to the ground. If you ever find the ken sliding off, then you know it's not parallel. You want to catch the ken at the apex, which is what we talked about in the last section. And ideally, again, at the apex is when the ken is perfectly straight, vertically and horizontally. Balancing closer to the tama is better, and the reason for that is because your hand is shakier than the tama. So the string over here is going to be moving more than the string over here. And use your knees a little bit to help catch the ken. Third step is balancing the ken on the string. Once you get it on the string, your 2 hands in your chest should all be in alignment to balance the ken. It feels a lot like a borders balance, just 10 times more fragile, because just a little bit of movement can make it fall off. And you want to keep the ken as still as possible. You should always expect a little bounce. The better you catch it at the apex, the tighter you pull the string, and the straighter the ken is when it lands on the string, will all prevent the ken from bouncing off. So the 4th step is the mental focus. I actually filmed every attempt that I did up until I landed my first tightrope, and I made that in a video which you can see on the channel. I'll link it here. Your focus, motivation, and concentration is so much more important in this trick than other kendama tricks. Even for me, after doing it a lot of times, it requires my full concentration. And for other players too, if you watch Josh Kim or Cooper Eddy, they have a ton more experience than me doing this trick, and they're concentrating hard when they're doing tightrope. An attempt when you're not focused is an attempt wasted. And that's why learning this trick is very taxing, because if you want to land it on the string, you need to be focused every time. And something that requires a ton of focus and a ton of effort can't require a lot of time. We just don't have that much energy. I recommend going at it for 5 minutes. In the last minute, do a sprint where you just give it all your effort and then take a break. Practicing this trick is just missing the string over and over and over again. And the one time you get on the string, it just falls off. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. Just keep trying and keep practicing. So there you go, guys. That's my in-depth analysis on tightrope. If you can tightrope and you're watching this for fun, leave a comment on the most valuable tip that you have for people learning. And if you're really struggling, please comment on what specifically you're struggling with, and I'll try to help you out. Guys, make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't. Even if you don't check subscriptions, I want to make this into a bigger channel, so that really helps me grow. All right, thanks, guys.